And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, my co-host, Wes Cook.
Fuck Dallas.
It is Fuck Dallas weekend.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of ironic that it's Fuck Dallas weekend. We were just talking to one of the biggest Cowboy fans.
Yeah, go Birds. Fuck Bob. Absolutely.
I should have responded to Tech. An Eagle fan knows how I got it switched.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should have said. Oh, you've been livid, dude. You've been so livid.
That's what happened when you know Eagle fans.
It is Fuck Bob week for you because you got him in fantasy.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We can talk again since I whooped your ass last week.
No, you can. You can. Yeah, but we went into the game. I told you were going to win.
No, you're right. You're right.
I told you.
My team's been pretty solid, so yeah.
I mean, when every wide receiver I have is hurt.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I get it.
I think my starting wide receiver scored me 4 points.
It's rough.
And I still scored 77.
No, yeah, I mean, you kept it tight till the last. I needed Baker to do okay.
I told you, I needed Baker to throw an interception and get hurt going into Monday night.
I was up by like a 1.5 or something going in.
You were up by 0.6.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
An interception and an injury would have won the game for me.
Yeah.
But that ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, he did okay, thankfully.
Dude, he did great.
Baker
Should have won the game, to be honest.
I'm going to be honest. Baker's been saving grace this year.
I know. No one wants to listen to us about Baker not being done.
No.
We've been preaching. We've been preaching it for years, buddy. Yeah. He's the modern day Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is looked like trash.
No, he's awful. But that's who I drafted. I thought Derek Carr was going to have a year.
I thought he was going to have a year.
He lost all his weapons, so luckily I had Baker on the backside. Too.
I think it's funny that Dennis Allen has been fired twice midseason. As Derek Carr's been his quarterback both times.
They say LeBron is a coach killer.
Oh, I know. It's Derek Carr. You want to get rid of your coach, you just get Derek Carr.
Yeah. That's how you do it right there. Damn. Man, well, yeah, we got a lot. I mean, I know we just met up on Sunday and had an episode, but we're going to get to cover this week's slate of games. We got one going on right now.
We do.
You got Cincinnati and Baltimore, that NFC North.
That AFC North.
Or AFC, excuse me. God, man, I'm telling you.
Man, you're getting it all kinds of wrong right now.
I just missed one thing.
I know. It's all kinds of wrong to me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but AFC North matchup between Cincy and Baltimore going on right now. So,
this could be a division-changing win if Cincinnati could win.
I mean, for the way they started, they're at 4-5.
Yeah, they're still right there.
They'll be a game back if they beat the Ravens tonight.
Yeah,
from the Ravens, and they're second and goal right now at the Baltimore 2. So a good start for Cincy in this one.
Well, Baltimore's defense, they're just okay. They're not great.
I think that's what separates them from being elite this year.
I thought they would have made more of them. I thought they would have made a move for defense.
Yeah, before the trade deadline. Yeah. They seem like a team that would be poised for something like that. The Eagles definitely did. They didn't make a move.
Yep.
You saw Detroit made a move.
Detroit did. They went and got exactly who I told you they were going to get.
Yeah, Zadarius
Smith.
Yeah, Kentucky boy.
Yep. I mean, he's been good everywhere he's gone.
He has. And, I mean, I know he's 32, but
as a pass rusher, you can get away with that at 32. There's
absolutely.
A lot of guys.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I mean, you're still at you're on the end of your prime probably at that age. But, I mean, for what you're using as a rental this year, not bad. Not bad move.
You got to look at 32. Most of your good prime offensive linemen now are usually around that same age too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're looking at kind of even battles. Yes, there's young guys at every position that are good. We've seen it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, as a Packers fan, I'm not really excited about it.
Yeah, you're going to have to block them. And
yeah, especially after this weekend. That was not pretty.
Well, you got to miss them this weekend, at least. I mean, really, the Packers kind of shot themselves in the foot, right? The turnovers were a problem.
Turnovers were bad.
Play calling was a problem. The weather was a problem. Granted, it was impressive to see Detroit play through the weather so well. But, the Packers, like I said, really just gave that one away to them.
Well, what Detroit can do that I honestly, right now, don't think any other team in the NFL can do is you have to respect them, run or pass.
Yeah.
And legitimately have to respect them. Well, there's teams that can do one or the other really well. Baltimore, I think Baltimore can run the ball really well. Lamar has games where he passes well. Mm-hmm. But as far as top to bottom, Detroit's ridiculous. Ridiculous. If I had to pick right now, Detroit's probably my Super Bowl favorite at the moment. Unfortunately.
No, they definitely are.
And it hurt as a Packers fan, it hurts my feelings.
Tell me that's not the best team in football right now.
They are. They're fantastic.
I don't care about Kansas City being undefeated. We talked about this earlier. Kansas City is very fortunate from
they should have 3 losses.
A lot of calls, a lot of maybe some bad decisions from coaching, maybe some bundled plays and things like that. But, ultimately, Kansas City has been very fortunate to get to this record. I'm not trying to take anything away. I told you Sunday, the Hopkins connection already with Mahomes is scary.
And all that's going to do is free up Kelsey more.
Yes.
That's all it's going to do.
And Kelsey had a solid game.
Yeah. Between the two of them, they have freaking 17 catches or 16 catches. It was something stupid like that. But I don't know. As far as the moves, I think that was a great move. As far as trade deadline moves, that was beautiful. Detroit's move was great. I kind of like the Mike Williams to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
He's a solid number 2. I think he'd be just fine. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other moves I liked. Devontae Adams to the Jets, but I kind of think that's too little too late.
He finally went off last week.
He had a good game.
He had a good game. They beat a pretty good Houston team.
Yeah.
So, is this... can they still turn it around? Sure, because the AFC East is awful.
They are.
Outside of Buffalo.
They are outside of Buffalo, yep.
Yeah. Miami's doesn't look good. Even with Tua back, Miami doesn't look good, and then New England's just a dumpster fire.
Well, the problem, what the Jets are going to have to face is the fact that the AFC North is as strong as they are. And if you want to be honest, the AFC West is solid too.
Yeah, Denver and Kansas City both look fantastic.
Well, you got the Chargers sitting there at 5-3 also.
They're not awful. They're not awful. They're a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking they're going to take a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, to get settled into that hardball offense, and you just kind of get used, make the right moves and kind of establish a roster that kind of fits what he wants to do.
Yeah, at the right now, let's see. We take the top 7. Indy would be out. Cincy would be out. The Jets are 10th. As of right now, which is just crazy. 3 AFC West teams, and then you've got Baltimore and Pittsburgh, which is just insane. Because I didn't expect Pittsburgh to be where they were at, to be honest. But they played well, and then inserting Russell kind of has taken their offense to another level too, which is I did not expect at all.
I thought they were taking a step back.
I thought they would have too. I was a firm believer in leave Justin Fields in. I like Justin Fields in Chicago. That's a Packers fan. I liked it. But I didn't think he played bad. What did he go, won 5 of 6 to end the season last year, or 6 of 7, something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, and he played pretty well. I mean, I think Pittsburgh keeps him. I think Russell's just going to be a rental. I think he's there this year. I don't think he's back because they'll have to pay him.
But does he demand like a huge dollar sign? I mean, I just don't see it.
It's not about the demand. It's about the cost of what it's the price, regardless. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna overpay for a backup? Or I mean, even if he is that, I mean, honestly, they've invested long term in Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm going to say. And Russell can legitimately say this. I want Daniel Jones money.
I mean, why not?
I mean, what's Daniel getting? 40, 45? Something crazy like that.
We all know that contract's bullshit. And that's the Giants move, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd have never done it. But as a starting quarterback in the NFL, you can legitimately say, Daniel Jones is getting this money. He's throwing 1 touchdown pass. 1.
Yeah.
You know how many he's thrown in the in MetLife Stadium this year? The same number I have. 0.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown one in.
Yet he hasn't thrown one in MetLife.
He's thrown 2, I think, Is this the beginning of last year? Is that what that stat is?
No, this is this year. There was a point at one point this year that Notre Dame had thrown more touchdown passes in MetLife than the Jets and the Giants combined.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. There was some stupid stuff.
They threw
crazy.
They threw 7 in one game when they beat up Navy in MetLife.
That's not really fair.
But I mean, Navy had like 7 turnovers and
right.
Whatever though.
All right, so since he's up 7-0 on Baltimore now.
Who got the touchdown?
Let's see.
I know who it wasn't. It wasn't T. Higgins.
Well, no. T. Higgins is out yet again.
It was Brown. Again.
Chase Brown, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Look at that guy. Damn. Look at that guy.
Gesicki has 1 catch for 3 yards. I got him in my other league.
You just rack up that 4.3 yards. That 1.3 points?
Yep.
Yeah.
In a PPR.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So this week's slate starts at 9:30 on Sunday in Germany.
Yeah. Yeah. With the...
God, the Germans are pissed at this matchup.
The worst part about it is it'll be a sellout. It'll be full.
And then they're going to be like, what is this shit?
I hope they get a good game, but...
It's not going to be good talent.
It's not.
Right?
But at the same time, I've been to Panthers games. I went to every game in their 1-15 season. Every game.
Wow.
I had free tickets. Why wouldn't I go?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, at least you get to see other teams
play. Yeah, I got to see other teams play.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, the Giants and Carolina in Munich at 9:30 on Sunday. Giants are a 6.5-point favorite. I say slam it. Bryce Young starting. The Giants defense could be okay. I mean, they're going to score at least.
I am all about the Panthers plus 6.5.
You are.
I am. There's something about
I just don't see Bryce Young putting points on the board.
You don't need points. This could be a 3-0 game.
You're right. I mean, if
this could be a 6-0 game.
If there's a strength to Carolina, it is the defense.
Their defense is a little better.
Yeah.
Imagine how much.
But I mean, you could say the same about New York. So I guess that a low-scoring affair.
Yeah.
Would be the case. Maybe we see special teams touchdowns or something. Regardless, I mean, I'm slamming New York on this one. I mean, they've impressed in some games, and when they play against lesser opponents, they show they're the best of the worst, right? So that's my reasoning behind it. Bryce Young starting again. I don't understand it. I mean, he got benched, got brought back in. and it just doesn't. It hasn't improved.
It hasn't. And the sad part is, I don't think they can give up on him yet. Unfortunately,
you can't.
They can't. They've still got him for another 3 years.
Right? You can't. You can't give up.
You got to give him time. I mean, last year was a dumpster fire for him. Last year, honestly, reminded me a lot of Trevor Lawrence's rookie year. Urban Meyer, the whole circus that Jacksonville was that year.
I see what you're saying.
So, I mean, if you really want to be honest, you could almost say that this is kind of like his rookie year again.
Yeah.
Plus, Carolina made a lot of front office moves that weren't great. My biggest takeaway from this game, how much better would Malik Neighbors' stats be if he had a better quarterback? And this is a guy that has 55 catches and 557 yards.
He is the only weapon.
He is the only weapon.
So, yeah, I mean, he would be better. I mean, even with like a better wide receiving core, it's going to make the defense operate differently, right? So
it will.
Yeah, I mean, but it is a good piece for where they want to start and move forward.
I mean, they couldn't get a quarterback at that pick.
No.
Which, I mean, there was rumors they were trying to trade up and nobody was saying. Everybody said no.
But what are you trading up for? I mean, I guess so you can have him on a rookie deal while you're paying Jones this amount of money. But, I mean, you're handcuffed to that guy.
This is Daniel's second year on that deal, right?
Yes.
I think they might be able to get out of it at the end of this year. Like, I think all this guaranteed money, it was upfront money.
I thought most of it was guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's another story for another time.
I mean, it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, we know what Daniel Jones is at this point in his career. He's not good.
He's not good. And again, I'm going to say this because I know he hasn't been good, but the Giants have never done anything for him.
Well, no, I mean, I get that, but at the same time,
it's bad offensive lineman drafts. Up until this year, the only weapon he really had was Saquon. They tried to draft wide receivers. They got hurt. Tried to draft offensive linemen. It was the wrong one. I mean, they haven't done him any favors.
Speaking of Saquon, how bad are they?
Well, they didn't. They let him go.
I know.
They could have stopped it.
He saw it on Hard Knocks.
They could have stopped it, and they chose not to. They could have done it.
I'm forever thankful for it.
Oh, as you should be. But, I mean, all they had to do was pony up and pay him. He would have stayed.
Yeah, I mean, we got to mention, like, the ridiculous play this weekend.
Oh, the spin, no-look hurdle. Or it wasn't even really a hurdle. It was more of like a leaping split.
Right over the defender.
I mean,
he didn't come in low either. He came in high.
Yeah.
The fact that he cleared him.
It's one of the most amazing things I've seen.
His mind is next level, simply prepared for the tackle coming.
To just say, I
gotta leap here.
I'm gonna spin and I'm gonna jump. We'll see what happens. Like, just crazy. I thoroughly liked it.
You're gonna see that play forever.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That's a play that will forever live in history.
Yeah. It's one of the greatest football plays I've ever seen.
Yeah. So how many running backs are going to try it now? Just seeing it actually being performed, like
here's the thing.
I don't know if there's any running back that could get as high as Saquon just did there.
No, I think there's several that could do it. The problem is,
did you see how high?
Yes, I know how high he is. Every running back in the league can jump 10 feet. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what they are. They're all legs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all athletic. I mean, Josh Jacobs could probably do it.
Maybe.
I'm not discrediting how great of a movie it was.
I know you're not. I'm not, and I'm not trying to homer this scenario. I'm just saying, just for as high as he got, it was. I mean,
it was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous in every bit of that moment was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And coming off a spin move and just having a leg
it was
the just lift yourself.
it was the spin jump that got me. It was like nobody's ever going to be able to do that.
It's just like here's some nuts across the top of your helmet.
Yep, pretty much. All right, we talked about the Giants and Panthers. So you like the Giants?
I think the Giants cover.
They cover?
Uh-huh.
They cover the 6.5?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, the Panthers are that bad.
They're both 2-7. The Panthers just beat the Saints, which isn't saying much either. That's not saying much either. But the Giants ain't saying a whole lot either. But we'll see. First game on the 1 o'clock slate is the Patriots and the Bears. A battle of 2 top 5 picks. And Caleb and why am I Drake May?
Got no interest in betting this game.
I will probably steer away from it.
Chicago's a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 38.5. I'm really tempted to take the under if I do anything with this game.
I would 100% take the under.
Yeah.
100%.
Both have decent defenses. The offenses, Chicago should be so much better offensively. And Caleb Williams is dinged up.
They should be better, but at the same time, you're still playing with a rookie quarterback.
That's why Justin Fields should have stayed.
They weren't going to let Justin stay. Justin was going no matter what.
I understand that. You got the first pick. It's like, we're going to do this. But
Justin was leaving.
I just imagine how much better Chicago would be with Justin Fields there.
Caleb can throw the ball a little better.
Okay.
A little.
Give me the established guy that we haven't given a full shot.
With those kind of weapons. I agree with you. Chicago was able to do something that the Giants were never able to do. As far as put talent in the right places.
No, it's true. But
their defense.
You got proven commodities.
Yep.
And then you went and got a rookie that, looks the part. But, there's no connection with Odunze. There's no connection with, maybe Keenan Allen's the best one he has. And DJ Moore is basically absent.
Yeah,
the guy that is caught for 1,000 yards in every year that he's been in the league, and all of a sudden Caleb Williams can't make this guy get it. It
goes back to what I think Caleb's overrated.
No,
we know this. We've said
it. No, I don't understand the concept of this at all. It just doesn't. Like I said, I would have left Justin Fields there. I would have traded out of that first pick. I would have stockpiled picks to improve my defense, everywhere. Because look at Swift is having a year.
Yeah.
Which I told you he was going to.
Swift is good. They've got great pieces. They do.
I'm just
the thing about it is,
I just don't know why you go off and get Caleb. You didn't need him.
They're going to screw it up. It's Chicago.
Yeah,
it's what they do. They're going to screw him up too. Because let me tell you where they're going to screw him up. Is they're going to fire Matt Eberflus at the end of the season, which means for the third time in as many years, they're going to draft a quarterback, give that coach 1 year with him. And then they're going to fire him and bring in another coach and another offensive coordinator.
They've done it with everybody.
They did it with Trubisky.
Yep.
They did it with Fields. And now they're going to do it with Mike Williams.
You're right.
They're going to do it.
Or not Mike Williams, but Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, yes, sorry.
Yeah. Just clarifying for you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
But they do it. That's what they're doing. They're going to do it again, which means you're going to hamstring him next year because he's going to have to learn another system. It's what the Bears do. What they should have done.
I know you enjoy their downfall.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Packers do own them. So Aaron Rodgers may play for the Jets, but he still owns a big chunk of Chicago.
He does.
A big chunk. But what the Bears should have done, if they were going to take Caleb, which everybody knew they were, they should have went ahead and cleaned house on the coaching staff. Brought in a guy, say, hey, this is what we're doing.
Is this what you want? Can you do? Can you make this work? Yeah. And we needed to, it needs to be established quickly because that's what you want. Because you couldn't ask for a better situation as a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's still struggling with it. And I mean, I know there's an adjustment. You got to get used to the speed. You got to get used to this and that. But
you know what they could have done? And they probably should have done.
You keep Justin Fields and let Caleb sit.
Well, I'm talking about as far as where they're at. You know, there's a coach that is doing very well, or let's say there's an offensive coordinator that is doing very well with a rookie quarterback, who probably, with those weapons and Caleb Williams, probably could be getting more out of them. Tell me Cliff Kingsbury couldn't be doing a better job.
I mean, I knew exactly where you were going. It's definitely Washington.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things.
You're not wrong.
So you're not touching that game either?
No, I'm not touching
the under. I kind of like it.
Yeah, maybe the under if I go anywhere. The next one's Buffalo at Indy. Buffalo's kind of, I mean, they're looking like they're kind of gelling. They're getting on the right path. They're a 4-point favorite in Indianapolis this weekend. Give me Buffalo. I'm slamming that one.
I like Buffalo to cover. I just realized that Josh Allen only has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's playing well. I mean, he's been very, very careful, very smart and intelligent with the way he's been playing the game.
Is he the front runner for MVP right now? Ooh. Halfway through the season?
I mean, you gotta think so. I mean, if you really broke it down, like what MVP should truly mean, if you take this player away from this team, what is the difference? What is the wins above replacement in this scenario? And Josh Allen,
he's balling, bro.
I mean, they've won 4 straight, and I mean, they look the part right now. I know they didn't look good early against the Ravens. It was at Baltimore though. And then they turned around and played the Texans and played them tight in Houston.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're bad losses. The 2 losses they have are not bad. They're handling the people.
The Baltimore loss is bad.
I mean, it's not though. It's on the road.
They got thumped, but at the same time, I get what you're saying.
It got out of hand early, and it was more of a catch up, and it was more.
It was too much early to recover late,
and it just looked more of a learning game. And let's test some different things out. We know we're going to fold here, but we're going to try some different things and see what we can do.
Yeah.
But no, Buffalo looks every bit of the part. Indy. I mean, while they're just reeling, right? Yeah. I mean, they played the Vikings tough on the road last week.
Indy came out last week before the trade deadline and said that Anthony Richardson was not on the table at all.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't be. He's only in his 2nd year.
He's trash.
I agree. We said it from the go.
Yeah.
From before the draft. We're like, why is this guy here and Hendon Hooker's up here, falling in the 5th or 6th round?
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
I like Hendon Hooker sitting behind Jared Goff. I think that's a beautiful place.
It's going to be a solid transition in Detroit.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a few years, but what it could turn into for Detroit is hey, we've got this quarterback in the back. Yeah, here we've got a young guy that's good. And what you giving up for it?
He's been learning from one of the best in the game right now.
Yeah,
you can't say anything bad about it.
I mean, you could argue Jared Goff for MVP.
You could.
Yeah, I like Buffalo in this one. I'm with you on it. They're covering. I almost like the over just because I feel Buffalo could score 40 by themselves.
Possible.
Kind of, but probably won't go with there. But I definitely Buffalo to cover.
Denver and Kansas City's your next 1:00 game. Kansas City's a 7.5-point favorite. Give me Denver and the points all fucking day.
I like Denver and the points in this one. I kind of like it. I'm feeling you on it. I like the under.
Yeah, 41.5 is high for 2 offenses that both haven't proven a whole lot offensively. I think, as we spoke about Hopkins and Mahomes, Kansas City's
offense is getting ready to start.
Yeah, but Kansas City's defense is still good. They're almost in Super Bowl form for the way they've been playing.
Chris Jones is an absolute monster.
Yeah, that dude's a beast. Bo Nix is better than advertised or expected.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, Sean Payton's kind of a quarterback whisperer.
He is, man. He can get it done. But I like Denver covering for sure. They might not win. Probably comes down to a late bullshit call again.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Just as Baker and Tampa had them last week, it's just here we are again.
Let them off the hook.
Yep. But yeah, give me Denver with 7.5 for sure.
All right. Next 1:00 game is Niners and Bucks. Bucks coming off a tough loss.
They are coming off a tough loss. San Francisco is a refueled,
they're only refueled because they got McCaffrey. They're still, I think.
He ain't getting Ayuk back this year.
No, Ayuk's not coming back.
Debo's going to be on the field.
Debo will be on the field. It'll be as close to them being at top form as they can
offensively,
be.
yes.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay offensively still solid. San Francisco's a 6.5-point favorite. I want to slam Tampa on this.
I want to take Tampa in the points too at home.
Yeah, at home. That's a big home dog.
What about the 50.5? I'm feeling under on that.
I don't know. Tampa Bay plays in big scoring games, right?
Yeah, they do.
So it's just last week was 54. The week before was 57. The week before that was 72. The week before that was 78, 66, 49.
San Francisco's defense is not terrible.
Last 6 games have all been over the mark.
Yeah. So they're due for an under.
They had one that was 49, sorry. But still, close enough.
They're due for an under. I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll stay away from that. I may stay away from that one.
Tampa's reeling, but, against good opponents, right? They played the Ravens. They played the Falcons. They played the Chiefs.
They played everybody tough.
Yeah.
It's not like they're getting blown out anywhere.
But, this is the last part of their tough part of the schedule because listen how they end up after this week. At Giants, at Panthers, against the Raiders, at Chargers, at Cowboys, against the Panthers, against the Saints. This is a team we might write off after this week if they take another L, but they might come back so strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of that Chargers game, I don't see a game that they won't be favored in.
Look at it this way, too. They gave who we just talked about being the best team in football their only loss.
Yeah.
In the Lions. So
that was early on.
It was early.
The Lions are a little.
And now they're trucking now, bro.
Yeah,
they are trucking. Man, I like Tampa plus the points. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot.
50.5 is still a big number.
50.5 is a monster number.
Especially with a defense like San Francisco's.
Let's see.
However, San Francisco's played some high-scoring affairs here recently, too. 54, 46.
Yeah. Maybe the over is good.
47, 43.
Yeah.
54. Or 51, excuse me. Most of them. The lowest amount scored against them is 13, and that was the Patriots. The Chiefs they've had 20 plus on them every game after that.
Yeah.
Well, the over might be pretty solid here.
It might be.
I think you take Tampa plus the points and over 50.5.
And sorry about that. I thought I had this thing on silent.
No, man, you're good. You're good. Next game is a NFC South matchup. Atlanta at New Orleans. Atlanta's a 4-point favorite. Slam Atlanta. Atlanta's going to cover that. New Orleans is just bad.
New Orleans is really bad, sir.
They're reeling. And, I mean, I get it. They're not the same team they were at the beginning of the year because they're decimated on offense in terms of injuries.
Yeah.
There's no weapons.
I mean, Kamara's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, but he's even taken a step back from what he showed at the beginning, or what he showed at the beginning of the year. So.
Yeah, but I mean, because you can stack the box against him.
Well, yeah, I mean, who's catching the ball there? I mean, Taysom Hill's playing a bigger role now. That helps, but at the same time, look at you. You're going to knock cameras down and everything, turn lights off.
Yeah.
You're much appreciated, though. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah. The old-fashioned Jello shot.
The old-fashioned Jello shot. The leftovers from Halloween.
Yeah. I like them, by the way. They're delicious.
They are delicious, but man, they are potent.
Yeah. That's why you can't have but like one.
yeah, exactly.
But the Saints, the Falcons cover all day long.
Yeah.
I feel like their offense is starting to truck now.
They're starting to click a little bit more. Kirko's getting established with the wide receivers. Drake London has the second most yards in NFL right now, or at least top 5. And then Kyle Pitts is starting to pick up a little bit.
Well, you're seeing Cousins unlock the potential for all these young, skilled guys.
Right.
I mean, even Bijan's numbers.
Yeah, they're up. Well, I mean, they have to be.
They have to be. They have to be. They couldn't be any.
They couldn't be worse than last year.
I expected more last year. I don't know why. Arthur Smith, I don't know. After watching the Atlanta last year with Arthur Smith, I have no idea how Arthur Smith even has a job in the NFL.
No, fuck Arthur Smith. I hate that dude. Screwed my fantasy football season last year. Yeah. Awful.
Yep, but and yet he's the offense coordinator in Pittsburgh, and they're 5-2, 6-2. Ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense.
Ridiculous. And Najee Harris, he's actually letting Najee run the ball.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't trust Rooks. Who knows?
I don't know. It's kind of in today's NFL. There's rookies you have to trust. You have to do it.
I mean, it was kind of last year with Dan Campbell and Gibbs. It took him a while to really say, okay, Gibbs, here's the rock.
Well, I mean, they're still doing. They haven't changed their philosophy. But Gibbs is getting a little more. It's getting more touches now. But you're seeing he
had to prove himself before he got those touches.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been a monster. Yeah. He's been awesome.
Yeah,
he's been awesome. Gibbs could do it. Going back to a conversation, I think Gibbs could do it.
Yeah, that's probably true. I bet he could. That dude's athletic as shit.
I mean, there's some running backs that Saquon's great. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get it.
There's guys that could do it.
I'm just thinking that they're gonna have the wherewithal and the thought process.
Gibbs could do it.
The football IQ
to do it. Yeah.
Not necessarily just the physical ability, but we're talking like the football IQ.
I think a young Christian McCaffrey could do it.
Yeah, I don't know that the ACL or the
yeah
is going to have the same ability.
The tendonitis, the Achilles tendonitis,
the Achilles, everything. He's not there. I think he's going to come out and ball this weekend, but we'll get to that game.
But as far as the Falcons Saints, I'm taking.
We didn't even talk about Christian in that game.
Yeah, he's coming back.
But my favorite 1:00 game is Pittsburgh at Washington.
I like this game a lot.
Me too. Washington's a 2.5-point favorite. Pittsburgh defense looks good.
Robinson playing this week?
And good offense. No. That makes it a lot more tricky, right?
It does make it tricky.
Yeah.
But they got Eckler too. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a huge drop off or anything.
Well, Eckler hasn't just proven anything this year. That's the thing.
I mean, he's had Robinson playing in front of him. He's been balling out. So,
if anything, you got fresh legs.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's just weird to see Eckler fall off into a backup role.
It is. It disturbed me last year with the Chargers because I had him on my fantasy team last year, and it was just not the same from the previous year. I don't know what changed, what happened.
He's lost a step or what, but I mean, it's not like we could tell because he's not on the field to see.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, it is back-to-back coaching staffs that have said, you're not the guy for this offense.
Yeah.
But you'll probably get to see it this weekend here in Pittsburgh. Eckler's a solid play. I'm 99% sure Robinson's out.
I am taking Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh in the 2.5.
I like Pittsburgh. Too. You're giving me 2.5 points. I like it.
I just think Pittsburgh's going to dial up some defenses that Daniels hasn't seen.
Yeah, and the way this defense is played, this is a very good opportunity for them to really confuse a rookie quarterback and make it a
Cheers, sir.
Oh, yeah. Cheers to the Birds beating Cowboys this week.
Yeah, I'm down. I will be an honorary Birds fan this week since my boys are on a bye, if you're good with that.
Absolutely. Every time. Anybody that's against Dallas is with me.
Oh, I'm always against Dallas.
Yes, you are.
There are certain fan bases that.
That's what I appreciate about you.
That's what you appreciate about me. I like it.
Oh, man. All right, to the Birds.
To the Birds. Ooh. You know it's a good Jell-O shot when you can taste the kick in the Jell-O.
Whew, that cherry. Ooh. It's like full of booze.
Man.
Wow.
Anyway.
She's good, though.
They are good. But yeah, I like, again, I'll take the Steelers to cover.
Yes, sir.
Or, I guess, with the points. I'm actually looking at the under in this game, too.
Yeah, I like the under in this one. I know offensively, Washington is pretty potent. Missing Robinson's going to have an effect in that outcome. And just the unknown aspect of what Eckler's going to bring to that offense. Yep. I agree with you. I like the under, too. In the last 1 o'clock games, Minnesota at Jacksonville.
Man.
Minnesota. Jacksonville put up a fight last week. They were gifted a touchdown. I don't want to dwell on it too much. It's just the Birds always make games more of a heart attack than they need to be. But Trevor Lawrence was awful in the last game. Minnesota is, they're a great football team. They're on the road at Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs a win in a bad way, but they're not getting it here.
I think a lot of Jacksonville's problem is the lack of production, and I'm not quite sure what his numbers are. I'm getting ready to look them up. But I think it's the lack. I think ETN not playing as well as he did last year.
Yeah, ETN has kind of fallen off a bit, but I think a lot of that has to do with the O-line. I think their left tackle's out, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, take Bigsby has 515 yards, but I think ETN might be battling injury too.
He is. He's been in and out.
Yeah. So, that kind of hurts them in ways.
It's a problem. I agree. That hurts. It doesn't. I just didn't see anything special out of Jacksonville's offense.
Nope. The only thing special going on with their offense is Brian Thomas Jr. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Which, we touched on that last week.
Minnesota's a 7-point favorite. I think they cover.
Minnesota's been in some close ones the last couple of weeks.
They have. They are on the road. They played the Colts tight. They lost back-to-back matchups with the Lions and Rams. Pretty much everything but that weird win against the Texans early.
Yeah.
Has really been.
Everything's been tight. Everything's been close.
Maybe take Jacksonville to cover here.
Maybe. I'm undecided on this one.
I'm just not betting it.
I'm gonna get
this one off the parlay. This one's not kicking.
Oh man, you know me. I always put one together where I throw everything out there.
Yeah, I know, but this one,
it's just I don't know. That'll be a game time decision for me, to be honest.
I'll say the over 44.5 is.
Yeah.
Right where it needs to be. Yeah, that one's not an easy pick. I'll leave Vegas to have the fun with that one.
Yeah.
The 4:00 slate of games. There's only 3 this week. Is it always 3? I thought it was 4.
There's usually more, but the buys have started.
Yeah, I thought there's 2 405s and 2 425s. But anyways, Tennessee at the Chargers. Chargers are 7.5-point favorites. Tennessee's kind of hard to really bet. Sometimes they look okay. Other times they don't. I mean, granted, they played the Patriots last week. It's not like some big accomplishment for them. I mean, they got their asses handed to them by the Lions the week before. Week before that, the Bills handed it to them. And
everybody's handing it to them, buddy.
They got clobbered by a Tua-less Dolphins team. Or no, they beat the Tua-less Dolphins team.
The Lions win. The Lions lost, though. That one was absolutely ridiculous. And, we talked about it before, but the most impressive stat in that entire game for me is the score at one point was 42-7.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lions had a grand total of 9 passing yards.
Yeah.
Which is insane considering all the praise that we had.
But the defense was doing this part.
Defense did it, and they ran all over them.
They did. I mean, once you find the formula that's working against somebody, just do it.
Yeah, that's the thing that's where teams drive me crazy is they get too cute, and they just don't.
Yeah. Well, this one is on the West Coast, so I mean, I think you take the Chargers in 7.5.
Man, we got the elephants rolling through here
today.
We
do, yeah. These kids, their feet, man, they get it.
I get noise complaints all the time about Taylor.
Well, you're on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. Like they call me, and I'm like, I got a kid. I can't help it. She's up running around at 8 o'clock in the morning.
She's heavy-footed. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like
I haven't heard anything yet in a while, though. Maybe
that's good. Maybe she's getting lighter on her feet.
Yeah, we were talking about the golf stats for the Tennessee game. 12 of 15 for 85 yards.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's all you need, though.
Yeah, especially when Gibbs has 11 carries for 127 yards.
Over 10 yards a carry.
Weird.
Phenomenal.
Anyway, that's the old game.
Phenomenal stats.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't much to work with here, but yeah, I think the Chargers cover 7.5.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
I like the way Herbert's been playing. I like the way Harbaugh has been dealing with Herbert.
Yeah.
He's kind of said, hey, look, I know you're a phenomenal talent. Let's just dial it back a little bit. Let's take a little more off your plate. Let's try to run a little bit more. As far as I'm concerned, right now, Dobbins should be comeback player of the year.
Dude, he's killing it out there.
I mean.
Killing it.
And I don't like to compliment Ohio State players. I don't like to, but he has been fantastic for them.
No, he has.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's found his footing in LA for sure.
But I mean, that's what Harbaugh likes to do. He likes to run the ball.
Yeah, he has a Big Ten offense. I mean, let's go.
Yeah, it is. He's got that mentality for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
425 games. The Jets at the Cardinals. Jets are 2-point favorites here.
I'm taking the Jets.
Think so?
Yeah. Even though, the Cardinals are leading the West right now.
They are. And they're on a 3-game heater.
Yeah.
I mean,
with Call of Duty coming out 2 weeks ago, which is, I don't understand that.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe somebody got in his ear like, hey, man, you got the entire off season to do this. Or you got your days off. You don't have to do it every day.
Every day, yeah.
Or maybe somebody said, hey, bro, you got to cut it out or you're going to be out of here.
Could be. I mean, granted, they did play a good game against the Chargers.
They did.
But then they played the Dolphins, I mean, in a tight one. And then, I mean, they demolished the Bears last weekend.
Yeah. Yes, sir, they did. Like, it was not even – it was ugly all the way around.
Yeah.
They gave Lions a good game early. They destroyed the Commanders.
Yeah. The Commanders destroyed them.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the Commanders destroyed them. They did beat the Niners.
They did.
Which is – I mean, part of the reason why they are leading the way. I just, you write off the first half of the season for San Francisco right now. Yeah. Just the way I look at it.
Well,
let's talk about one of the best football players in the league coming back to the team.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. In terms of San Francisco.
Well, you're talking about San Francisco getting healthy, period. It's kind of like I'm not writing off the Rams quite yet.
Yeah.
Because they're really just not getting healthy.
They're like playing week 2 now.
Yeah. I mean, Kyron Williams has looked every bit of like a stud.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, they're still getting it done. I believe they're 4-4. They're on a bye. They're Monday night, but I mean, for them to be as decimated injury-wise, and for them to still be 4-4 is Sean McVay has done a fantastic job this year.
I agree with you.
It's crazy how young he is, and think about his coaching tree right now.
I'm going to take Arizona in this one. It's in Glendale. You're giving me 2 points. I'm going to take the Cardinals.
I'm going to take Jets.
Okay.
To cover. You and I usually differ along the way. I think this is the one where we're going to differ.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like the stuff. I like the direction the Jets are going. I think they looked good last week. Might be the best
they've
looked.
They beat a good Houston team. They got a mini bye, if you want to call it that, playing Thursday last week. So.
What I feel they should be doing, I feel like they should be doing more of like what's the Chargers are doing. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, let's take a little bit off of Aaron's plate. I mean, you've got a young stud running back. Give him the ball. When he gets touches, he looks good.
I agree.
But, that's not quite Aaron's thing either.
It's not. He likes to sling it, man. All right. Well, we already know the game.
Care about. Yeah, that's the big one.
That is the one we care about out in Jabbo right here. And that is the Birds travel to Dallas. It's not going to look the same as previously expected. Dak Prescott is out for an extended period of time at this juncture of the season. It means we get to see Cooper Rush.
Yeah. And my thoughts on that is I'm taking Philly to cover.
Yeah.
And 7? I'm taking the over because I think Philly could do the over by themselves. To be honest.
We haven't scored that many points all year.
Well,
I know Dallas's defense is not.
It's not great.
It's not great.
The one thing you can do on them, you guys can do really, really, really well.
Yeah, but we have a coach that will do the complete opposite.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure this will be the game that Jalen Hurts throws the ball 50 times.
Right.
And
it makes no sense, right?
No, so I would.
Going into this game, if you don't have a game plan that includes Saquon getting 30 touches, your game plan is wrong.
You're failing.
This is the exact reason the Steelers lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah. Run the football.
Simple. That's all you got to do. Every team that's had success against them ran the ball early and often, and they built a lead, and then they made Dak throw the ball.
Yep.
And you know what? It's been the formula for success against this defense. And if you don't see that as a professional football head coach, you don't deserve to be a professional football head coach.
This is a game, you and I have talked about your coach multiple times. I'm not a huge fan of him, but this is a game. If you don't run the ball 40 times.
Yeah, I mean, you got Kenny Gainwell, you got Will Shipley back here. We got pieces that we can run in and out, so you're not putting too much wear and tear on a guy like Saquon.
Dude, you could run Hurts.
Yeah, and not to mention
design runs for him.
Right, exactly. This whole thing is designed for you to destroy this football team. The thing is, it's the Sirianni factor, and I just don't know if I trust him enough to do what needs to be done. I mean, granted, look at it. Anytime he has a chance to take some points, and he doesn't take them. How many? Jake Elliott probably hates this man.
I could get it. I get it. I understand.
You got one of the best kickers in the fucking league, and you don't take the points when you get the opportunity.
You can.
How many times did we have to go for 2 last week?
You don't.
And you don't. And it's not even a game if you just kick the points when you need them or you can get them. Just get the points. Honestly, your team set you up to get here to get the points.
He reminds me of
and
that.
Rely on your defense because your defense is good.
He's that guy that reminds me of the Madden player or the NCAA player that never punts.
Right.
Always goes for 2. That guy.
And that's the guy that gets pissed off when he loses.
Yeah.
And you go back and look at the stats and everything else. He's the guy that could have won the football game if you just played football.
Hey man, if I'd have kicked these 4 field goals this game instead of going for it, I'd have had 12 more points on the board.
Well, it comes down to analytics, right? And he's a huge believer in it, which is
I agree with you. It's kind of like analytics said that Tampa should have went for 2.
Yeah, last week,
and they should have. They should have Monday night. They should have absolutely went for 2 Monday night. I am all over the Eagles covering. If they just run the ball,
right?
They can drop 40 on this team.
Oh, easy. I agree. I agree with you. But like it comes back. I told you it's Sirianni and the analytics and just the way he wants to be involved in the offense. And it comes back to and the whole thing with statistics, right? The analytics of the football game and what do you do here, there? He relies so heavily on. It's almost like Gabe Kapler when he was the manager of the Phillies.
Yeah,
he was so analytical of the game instead of just reading the game. That's ultimately.
Sometimes the game plan is laid out there in front of you.
It is.
You just got to follow it.
Just watch the tape of everybody else before you. Run the football.
Watch what Detroit did to Dallas.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Ran the football.
That's all you got to do. Watch what they did.
And guess what it does? It opens up the fucking passing game for you.
Yes, it does.
Makes it so easy. You have nothing to worry about after that.
Yeah.
Simple game plan that needs to be put into place here. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I 100% believe that, I've said it 10 times already. You just got to run the football.
That's it. Simple facts.
And that is the end of it. I know you will be somewhere chugging beer this weekend watching the game.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure everybody will be decked out in your Kelly Green.
No, Kelly Green week was last week.
I know that was Kelly Green. I'm just saying you can do the Kelly Green anytime you want.
I can. I'll probably go midnight green this week just because.
I like the Kelly Green so much better.
Oh, I do too. Don't get me wrong. But we don't want to play it out, so it's just too much.
Yeah, but I'm just such an old school guy about that kind of stuff.
I agree. I'll tell you what. I'll wear my white throwback Cunningham jersey for you.
Oh, I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's got Kelly Green in it, but it's mainly white. So
I love me some Randall back in the day.
Me too, dude.
Even as a Packers fan, I can appreciate Randall Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Can absolutely appreciate it.
Yep.
So you're slamming the cover easily?
Hey, I don't bet.
I know you don't. But if you were going to bet on it, you're slamming the cover on it.
If the game plan is done properly, Birds win by more than 7.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. The Sunday night game, we roll into the Lions versus the Texans. This could be a very good game.
It's a solid game. You got
the Texans have looked a little, I don't want to say suspect lately.
They're still missing Nico.
Man, it is just hard.
It's hard to bet against Detroit. And Detroit's only a 3.5-point favorite. They are on the road, but Detroit's doing their thing against good teams.
Yes.
Detroit to cover. The over/under is only 48.5. I like the over with Detroit too.
As a Packers fan, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, right.
To know that at this moment, my team is the second best team in the division, and easily the second best team in the division.
There's a distance between the two teams.
Yes, as we saw last week.
But I think last week though was just it it was a combination of things that led it to be a blowout. I thought it would have been a lot closer had the weather been better, and
the weather's better. That just makes Detroit's offense more potent.
Well, no, that's the thing though. The Detroit was able to operate so well because of the offense, the Green Bay's offense, turning the ball over. They had short fields, right? There was a pick six at an inopportune time. I mean, it's not that bad off outside of some of the things that took place, right?
Yeah, but
if you really break it down, it's not awful. It's Love's not good when the weather's bad.
Yeah.
Now, if it's snowing, maybe it's a different scenario. Green Bay typically plays really well in the snow, but when we're talking about the way that Detroit can adjust their game plan on the fly, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's raining? Cool. We got a two-headed monster.
Yeah, we'll just hand the ball off.
Yeah. We'll just run the ball down your throat. We got this one, right?
That's it.
And so, and that you can't say necessarily the same thing for Green Bay. Now, is Josh Jacobs great? Absolutely.
He's good.
But you don't have anybody to sub at.
But, I mean, you got to think. Going into the fourth quarter, it was 24-6. A late garbage time touchdown and 2-point conversion is what made this game close.
But,
Detroit was missing arguably their best defensive player.
Well, your kicker missed a field goal in this game.
Yeah.
And you had a pick six.
Yep. But,
you're talking about a 10-point swing right there.
Yeah, but you're talking about a defense who's missing their best player.
Yeah. It could have been 14-10 going in the fourth quarter. Or 17-10.
It could have, would have, should have. Like, as a Packers fan, I'm very disappointed. First of all, I hate those uniforms were god awful by the Packers.
I like them.
Please never wear them again.
Why?
I don't like them.
What's wrong with those?
I don't like them. I don't like that just solid yellow helmet. I will say I like these uniforms better than the seriously old throwback navy
numbers,
blue ones. I like them better than that.
I get it.
What's really weird is I think my favorite uniforms I've seen are the Cincinnati Whiteouts.
They're pretty cool.
They look good.
They wore
that white helmet looked just awesome.
They're pretty cool. Like the white saber-toothed look.
Yeah. I'm in on it.
Anyways, back. Let's get back to this game real fast so we can wrap up on the NFL side.
Yeah.
Detroit at Houston. Detroit 3.5. I think you take it, and you take the over 48.5. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna go Texans. I'll take Texans as the home dog just to cover the spread. I still think they lose, but I think they can keep it close.
Game. Even if they lost by a field goal, right? It's not bad, especially for a team that took an L last week to a team they probably should have beaten, right?
Yeah.
But CJ probably had his worst game as a professional last week. Stroud did not look the part.
No, but he's still so good.
No, I know. It's a blip, right? This is not a pattern.
No, there has not been any pattern. It has been.
Yeah, that is a blip in the game.
It's been all great from him.
Yeah,
all great. Every great quarterback has games where they're awful.
They throw turds out there for sure.
Yeah.
Monday night, Miami at the Rams. Rams are only a point favorite. Give me the Rams.
I like the Rams in this one.
Point favorite? Rams all day.
I like the Rams.
Yeah. You got Cup back. You got Nakua back.
Williams playing well. Their defense is playing pretty solid.
Right. And Miami, you just never know. And,
you don't know who you're getting with Miami.
Yeah. I don't see Miami going across the country and taking this one. No, Rams.
No, they're a bad travel team.
Yeah.
Like that.
Rams on the uptick, too.
Yes, sir, they are.
Rams on the uptick. Miami went to Seattle and got blasted. Their only road win of the year is at the Patriots. So
That's not saying much. That's staying on the same coast and you're playing a bad team.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing a rebuilding team.
Yeah. That probably makes you feel good knowing that Miami travels to Green Bay this year then.
It does. It does. I like that. That's going to be that will be a Green Bay win all day.
Yes, sir. Unless it's raining.
Unless it's raining.
All right. Let's dive into some college football. Some scores from the past weekend. You had, I think, Boise State. Of course, we want.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, we covered all this the other day, buddy.
Yeah,
we can move to the
Sunday.
future.
It was on a Sunday.
It was. We haven't done a Sunday show in a while.
Yeah, it has been a minute. But this week, you have Ohio State back in action against Purdue.
Yeah.
That should be an easy win.
That should be an easy win.
Miami plays your favorite team, Georgia Tech.
That's going to be the game Miami loses.
I doubt that.
I am taking Georgia Tech plus 11.
It's not a bad bet because Georgia Tech has not been awful until what was the game they played? Notre Dame.
You know what I'm going to take? I'm going to take Georgia Tech plus the 11, and I'm going to take the over 63.5.
I think, it could be a high-scoring affair for sure.
Miami hasn't played a game that hasn't been 50-plus points all year.
No, it's true.
I actually don't think they've had one that's been less than 60. Matter of fact, the only game that was less than 60 was right at 50 when they played Florida State.
Well,
I mean, it was 84 points last week against Duke.
Fair.
I mean, they give up a ton of points. They can score a lot of points, but they give up a ton of points too.
Well, you know the ACC way better than me, so just
yeah. Unfortunately, I do, and Miami's good. I think at this moment, like as much as I would like to see Genty be the Heisman Trophy winner,
Ford is killing it.
It's Ford at the moment.
3,100 yards.
How many touchdowns?
29 and only 6 picks.
Yeah. I mean, that's sick number. So you're talking he's going to be 50-plus touchdowns for the year. Probably. Very close.
Well, he's got 3 games left.
3 games left and at least one if you want to be honest, probably got 4 games with the ACC championship.
And a playoff.
And then a playoff game. So you got 5 more games. It'll only be 4 before the Heisman Trophy is announced, but I still think that should be I think the college awards should be at the very end of the season.
Yeah. Well, Wake Forest and Syracuse round out their schedule too. Yeah. So
this is their last chance of the loss, I believe.
Yeah. It's at Georgia Tech. Yeah.
Yep.
Until an ACC title game.
Yep.
Which is probably going to be what, SMU at this
SMU
point?
at the moment.
Would never guess that at the beginning of the year.
I mean, it could be SMU, could be Pittsburgh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but both teams, I think they would handle.
Clemson's not out of it.
No, it's going to take. It needs some work. Right?
It needs some work.
Yeah. You got Florida traveling to Texas this weekend.
Ass whooping.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Texas is a 22.5-point favorite. Not touching that one.
I'm not touching that.
No.
Not after what I saw Florida and Georgia do this past weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, not touching it. Georgia at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is in a big need of a win.
They need this. If they win this game, they can get back in the playoff picture.
Ole Miss needs this win to save the season they were hoping to have. Yeah. Georgia's only a 2.5-point favorite here.
Georgia's not looked great.
They haven't. I'm liking Ole Miss.
I've liked Ole Miss all year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they've had a couple of games that hurt my feelings, but.
Yeah, the Kentucky one.
Yeah, that was the one that really did it
most. They played well at LSU, so it's not like it was a bad.
No, they were on the road in Death Valley.
Yeah. But, I mean, the work they did against Arkansas last week, I like Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss to
I like it. It was like upset. It was like the offense was reborn last weekend,
right?
So it looked a lot better. You have number 8 Indiana, which is still hard for me to say, and college football.
They're a 14.5-point favorite over Michigan.
Michigan's not good.
I know they're not good. They're 5-4.
But we knew going into the season.
Yeah, this is a whole new roster, new coaching staff. All of this is brand new, right? I'm not touching it because I just don't know. I mean, they are at Indiana. Michigan just isn't good. I mean, and Indiana's beat the brakes off teams that you wouldn't expect, like Nebraska.
That Nebraska game absolutely shocked me.
Right.
I jumped all over that one because they were giving Nebraska like, I think 14 points or something. And I'm like, ooh, I'm on that one all day long.
Yeah, I thought
and then
Nebraska
I checked the score, and it was already 30-something to 7. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was nuts, man. Nuts.
Just insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't know.
Is it weird? I mean, I hate Indiana, but is it weird? I want to take them in the 14.5.
I want to take Michigan plus 14.
You do?
I do.
I mean, Rourke is the quarterback for IU. 2,200 yards,
Yeah.
19 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Running back has played well.
Not turning the ball over.
I don't know.
I'm going to take Indiana at 14.5. Actually, I would like to buy a point.
To get the 15.
Make it 13.5. So 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I don't know, man.
Because what if they win by 2 touchdowns? And then not fucking lose by half a point? That happened to me last week, too. I just don't want that shit.
Dude,
One parlay lost by half a point.
Story of my life, bro.
I know.
Story of my life.
I mean, that parlay, it was a 1 out of 5 legs, and it was half a point. Half a point.
Those are the ones.
So I can't do it, man.
Those are the
like,
ones that like.
I need to buy I need to buy that whole point right there.
Those are the ones that just get you right in your craw. And you're like, God.
All I had to do was buy a point. But yeah, anyways. I mean, it's against my religion, but I think I'm gonna take
It is again. Well,
Indiana here. I'm gonna take Indiana.
I think it's more against religion in basketball than it is football.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's one of those. Indiana's usually
an average year. Indiana sucks at football.
Yeah, so it's not really that big of a story.
Yeah,
I'll like Indiana a lot better next week.
You want them to smoke Ohio State.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I do.
And we talked about it last week. Like this is that game is going to say, is Indiana legit or not?
Yeah. Yep.
Because their schedule's been favorable to this point because of that aspect.
Yeah, they've gotten really lucky schedule-wise. They was backloaded.
Yeah, no Penn State, no Oregon.
I mean, they're still right now, even if they lose this weekend, lose next weekend, they're beating Purdue.
Oh, easily.
So, I mean, you're still looking at a 10-win Indiana team in football, which is
unheard of.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
All right. The next, as far as top 25 games, you got Iowa State going to Kansas.
Kansas has been
awful.
Awful.
They've been
for a year that was expected to be so much different.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a big year for them, and it has not been.
No,
it has been
2-6, 1-4 in the Big 12. Just abysmal year for this team.
Yep.
Iowa State's only a 3-point favorite. I slammed that.
I don't know.
Slamming it. I mean, I know they showed well against Kansas State, but that's a rivalry game. Houston beat the brakes off, they beat Houston, excuse me. But Houston's the worst team in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably take Iowa State to cover. I'm with you on it.
They lost by 4 to Arizona State. They lost by 11 to TCU. Lost by 4 to West Virginia. Lost by 3 to UNLV. Lost by 6 to Illinois. So
that's the crazy part. Is they're all 1-score games.
They are, but we're talking about a 3-point game against the top 25 opponent. This one might be close, right? It could be a 6-point game, but talking about a 3-point spread.
Could
Iowa
be.
State.
Their schedule, ooh. Kansas' schedule is not pretty.
No.
They got Iowa State this weekend, BYU next weekend, Colorado the weekend after.
Yeah, it's not gonna end well.
Ooh, that is not. Oof.
Yeah, no shot at a.
I think the biggest surprise, I don't even think it's Kansas
bowl.
in the Big 12. I think it's Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
0-6 in conference.
Yeah, it's awful for them.
Ooh. Yeah. Anyway. Let's get back.
Clemson plays Virginia Tech this weekend. Clemson's a 6-point favorite. Clemson fell off the face of the earth last week.
I don't know what happened to Clemson last week. Zero
at home
knowledge
against a reeling Louisville team.
And laid an egg.
I mean, because they've been handling everybody, right? They've been handling everybody.
Since the Georgia game, they have laid it on people.
But it's like they started sniffing their own farts before this game, and here we are.
It's the Dabo Swinney curse. It's the Clemson curse. It's the Mac Brown effect.
Yeah.
You let a team come into your place that you should win, and you take an L.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not that Louisville's a terrible team.
But they're not the same team that they started at.
No. Brahman's done a good job there, though.
Yes. No, I'm impressed with the work he's gotten done in year one, for sure. I mean, from as bad as they were before, it's a big turnaround. And it's something as any Louisville fan should be happy with. They couldn't expect a whole lot more out of this year than they did. And getting a win over a top 25 Clemson team is on the road is huge.
Yep. That's a momentum builder.
Part of me likes Virginia Tech here.
Me too.
As a 6-point dog at home. But another part of me is like, Clemson's going to be pissed off about that loss last week.
It's just a game where they run it up 50 to like 10 or something like that.
One of those games.
It could be.
It could very well be. Klubnik's not an awful quarterback.
No, he's actually played well.
Yeah.
Played well. Playing a lot.
I'm going to steer clear of this one. I'm gonna take Virginia Tech to cover, but I ain't really betting it.
I probably won't bet this one either, but I kind of like Virginia Tech in that one.
Next one is one of my favorites because Army is undefeated. They're only a 4-point favorite at North Texas.
I'm taking Army.
I'm taking Army, and I thought I'd the over 64.5. I kind of like the over.
Army did burn me last weekend, though.
Didn't cover.
They didn't cover. 8.5. Had them Army minus 18. They won by 17.
Yeah, that'll get you every time.
Every time.
Sucks.
Every time, sir. I like Army in this one. The old Navy and Army have played fantastic seasons this year.
Well, just put it this way. Tulane put up 45 on them last week. Memphis put up 52 on them the week before that. FAU put up 37. So at least 37 points from the opposing team in the last 4 weeks at North Texas.
Is Army's quarterback actually playing this week? That was their problem last week. They were playing a backup. That's why the offense wasn't as potent. Because if you look at their offense every game but last week, like they've averaged 40 they're averaging 40 plus a game.
Yeah.
So it makes if he's back, they smoke them easily. Let's see.
You have to look up the injury report on Army. That's going to be a tough one to find.
Should be right here.
If Army's only a 4-point favorite, I'm taking it. Army covers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one all day long, sir. All day long.
Colorado is ranked 20th in this poll.
They're doing
6-2, bowl eligible at this point. They're on the road in Lubbock against Texas Tech.
Interesting game.
Yeah.
Very interesting game.
I mean, really, if you look at it, Colorado's set up to finish out the year without a loss. This might be their toughest opponent at Texas Tech because they play Utah, who's awful now.
I don't know what happened to Utah.
Their quarterback got hurt.
We were way off on that again too.
Yeah, but their quarterback got hurt, so it changed everything. Kansas, at Kansas, that could.
And then at home versus Oklahoma State.
Then Oklahoma State 0-for in conference. So
they're just bad.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of them running.
Colorado
run it and play in the Big 12 championship.
Colorado running out is going to end up in the playoffs.
They run it out and win the Big 12. They're in the playoffs. Right.
Crazy. Deion's done a good job there. Yes. For as much hype and stuff, if all the hoopla and stuff wasn't going on, say they were just quiet and not Deion Sanders-esque, if you get what I'm saying.
But I mean,
if it wasn't prime time.
But your team's going to model themselves after the head coach.
I get it. That's why he'd be a fantastic fit at his alma mater. But
FSU would love to have him.
But, I said FSU should have hired Lane Kiffin before Ole Miss did.
We love it. We love that. But let's see. FSU probably going to be looking for a new coach next year.
I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, I had this conversation this week with my brother. Him and I were kind of talking about it. And I'm like, are they looking for a new coach? Does he get another year? But my whole thing is like, with going from the high of last year and then just the rejection of being the first undefeated power conference school to not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then it just has tanked since then. Tanked.
But I mean, it can't tank that badly.
That's my whole thing. Like, Florida State's got talent. I just feel like the entire team is just, I think they're over it. I think.
But that comes directly from coaching not motivating to say, let's show the world something different this year.
They ain't got it to do it. And then they also, I'm
just saying at the beginning of the year, that should be your motivating factor, right? We got snubbed last year.
Let's go out here and do it.
But when faced with adversity, they folded.
The problem is they paid the wrong quarterback.
Well, no, we know that. We know that's ultimately where everything has fallen apart for FSU.
And it's been awful.
But, I mean, that's partly coaching, right? The coach said, this is the one I want. This is the one we're going to go get. Went and got him, and now look at where we're at. I'm looking at.
I'm leaning towards
the most embarrassing season for Florida State in a long time.
Probably ever.
Yeah, probably.
Probably ever. Like, I know they had some seasons there where they won 6 games. I get it. There were some lean times.
This one's one.
But I grew up in an era where Florida State was like one of the top dominant teams. Yeah. I mean, they had, I believe it was 15 straight years of finishing the season ranked in the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
I agree with you.
That's without the titles, that's Alabama-esque numbers. I mean, just crazy.
It's nuts.
Hell, it might have even been not even top 5. It might have been finished in the top 4.
Yeah, fair enough.
For 15 straight years.
See, you got Oregon as a 25-point home favorite against Maryland.
Oregon all day, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know if they cover 25.
I think they cover 25.
They can. They look good. Tennessee's a 24.5-point favorite at home against Mississippi State.
That's probably a cover too.
I mean, they didn't cover against Kentucky last week.
Kentucky's defense is a lot better than Mississippi State. Sorry.
They are. A
lot better.
I mean, you look at some of these L's that Mississippi State's had. Yeah. Tennessee should probably cover.
Yeah, Tennessee should roll.
Florida State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame actually will roll this one, sadly, but 26.5-point favorite at home. Yeah. Not touching that one. That's a little high for me.
Yeah, not messing with it.
The best game of the week, though. Well, maybe the second best game of the week because I really do like Georgia Ole Miss.
I like Georgia Ole Miss, but this one has
LSU
just has hate in it.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Georgia Ole Miss, like there's a rivalry there, but it's been such a lopsided rivalry,
right?
That is it really a rivalry?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this
is a rivalry. This is heat.
Bama
this
in
is
Death
hate.
Valley. Bama's a 2.5-point favorite. This could go either way, honestly.
I'm taking LSU.
I mean, LSU lost last week to A&M. I mean, granted, it was on the road. A&M's not a bad football team.
LSU? They lose to A&M last weekend.
Yeah, they did. Or 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends. Oh, yeah, it was 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
Because A&M took it on the chin last week from South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's what killed. Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because LSU was on bye.
Yeah.
This one's tough. It's a toss-up, really. I like Bama's defense. I'm gonna say Bama to cover. Especially, I mean, the shutout they put on Missouri. That it just give me Bama to cover. It is in Death Valley. It's going to be more difficult, but only a 2.5-point spread. Bama to cover. Bama to cover.
Man, I'm
on the Milrow train.
I like Milrow. My problem is Alabama has had issues. They've stumbled in times when I think they shouldn't. I kind of looked at Alabama to, like, I know they've got good players. They have good talent. But sometimes you look at a team. The only
one they really, truly stumbled against was Vandy because, like, the South Carolina game was close, but South Carolina's proven to be
South Carolina's proven to be good.
And then the Tennessee game was only a touchdown difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
a late touchdown at that.
Right. The stumble was against Vandy, but they have one of the most impressive wins on a resume out of any football.
The Georgia.
Team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that is. I don't know. I'll make up my mind. I can't. Parts of me is leaning LSU, and I can't figure out why.
Do you still have all that love in your heart from last year?
No, it's not actually. It's not. There's just something about it. Like, I like Kellen DeBoer. I think he's a good coach. I think that Alabama's not going anywhere.
Just remember, LSU is coached by Brian Kelly.
I know. Believe me, I know. I didn't want to tell you. You got to remember, I picked them last year too.
I know, that's what I was saying. You still have last year's love.
Man, the problem is I keep wanting somebody other than Georgia and Alabama to win the SEC. That's my problem.
I see what you get.
That's my problem.
I see what you get at. That's fair.
And what happens every year? It's Georgia and Alabama playing for it.
Yeah.
Even though
it's not going to be this year.
No.
Tennessee's going to be playing for it.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that?
You might have Georgia and Tennessee.
They still have. I believe Tennessee still got to play Georgia.
Yeah, they do next week.
Yeah, and they got to finish up at Vandy, who, shockingly enough,
is 6-3 and 3-2 in the conference. Tennessee, I handle Vandy. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, at Georgia's going to be tough.
The at Georgia's going to be tough. I think that's going to be a second loss for them. There's going to be a two.
If they win that one, they're playing for the SEC title. Though.
There's going to be a 2-loss SEC school that gets in the playoffs.
There has to be.
Easily. There may be 2-loss SEC schools get in the playoff.
I mean, this is what Bama's last test, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Bama finishes with Mercer, Oklahoma, and of course Auburn. So, and Auburn is. Ooh.
Well, we know what Oklahoma is. We know what Auburn is.
Right.
I swear to God, if Mercer beats them.
That won't happen.
I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be a 30-point spread.
Yeah.
if not more.
Easy.
That could be one of those like 55-point spreads.
Right. That's your bread and butter.
I love those spreads, dude. Yeah. I love them. I bet them every time.
Let's see.
I only win on them rarely, but I still love them.
Yeah. Oklahoma, Mizzou. Oklahoma's a 3-point favorite.
At Missouri.
Missouri's a road dog.
Oh, I bet you Cook's hurt again.
If Cook's out, that will change the whole outlook for Missouri's offense.
That's probably why they're. I mean, if you look at their 2 losses, he was injured in them. He didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
What's good on Missouri's coach? That's the guy that was at App State, and you and I both were like, "Why is he taking that job? That's a terrible job." He's done fantastic. Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him for being way better
than expected.
Yeah.
I mean, it came down to money, I'm sure. Washington at Penn State. Penn State reeling after the loss to Ohio State.
In a very competitive game.
I mean, early on it was. I mean, they were up 10-0 early. And it's like, oh, Penn State's finally going to get the win.
I thought they were. I bet it, but, I always bet against Ohio State.
Well, I know, but I was excited because I bet Penn State last week, too. And they're up 10-0. I was like,
yeah, it looked good. You took the straight money line. I took Penn State plus 3.5, and I was like, man, I got 13.5 points right now. I'm good.
And then it hit the fan.
Yeah. Hit the fan.
I mean, Penn State's still in the running to make the playoffs, so maybe they shore some things up and get back on the right track here. This is a good team to do it against Washington.
Well, Penn State's in a set to run to make it to the playoffs, but they're missing. I mean, they're still going to get in probably with one loss because I think they don't have anybody else the rest of the season, do they? It's Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland.
Yeah.
So we're looking at flameouts at the bottom. Yeah. I get it.
All right. Nevada takes on the Fighting Genties. This man has 1,525 yards on the year through 8 games. He has 4 games left.
Slowed it down a little bit. Just a little.
He's going to get to 2,000.
Oh, he's getting there. He's going to get it.
He's playing Nevada, who hasn't won a game in the Mountain West yet this year. 150, 200 yards is not really out of the realm of possibility for this
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, if you look at...
So this game, Boise State's a 24-point favorite here at home. If there's a prop bet for anything over 100 yards for Genty, take it.
The fewest rushing yards.
I'd say over 150.
The fewest rushing yards he's had all year was surprisingly against Portland State.
They're up big and just sat him. How many carries?
They won 56-14.
Okay.
He had 11 carries for 127 yards. But he didn't score any touchdowns.
Who needs those?
Yeah, but then last week, 31 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Still averaged 4.8 yards a carry. It's just ridiculous.
This dude is a first-round pick in the making.
If he's not, he's going to be super early second.
Yeah.
He's got it.
He does.
He's got it.
This guy has field vision out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
This guy... when he
could
gets
he do
to
it?
open field, he's quick. Yeah, this guy definitely could. He's so athletic.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch. I mean, I've turned on a Boise State game purposely for the first time
just to watch him.
In years, just to watch the kid.
It's hard to turn on that 10 o'clock West Coast game, though,
it is,
on a Friday.
Yeah, I mean, this one's at 8, though, on Fox.
Ooh, so, I'm in.
Yeah, this one you get to see Genty in prime time Saturday night.
I'm in. I'm on it.
Yeah, so prop bet for this game, Genty over 150.
I might take Genty over 200.
It's a possibility. I'm just saying 150 is probably going to be the line for this kid.
150, 3 T's?
Over under 1.5 touchdowns probably is the line. I mean, you saw him get 0 on 11 carries in that one game. So
Yeah,
one and a half. I mean, touchdowns are different.
11 carries. That's the only game he didn't have.
But 11 carries is very minimal for the kid. Pittsburgh is at home against Virginia. Another 8 o'clock game. 7.5-point favorite is Pitt. Virginia, not that good. 2-3 in the ACC. 7.5 is a lot for two clubs I'm not very familiar with.
Pittsburgh's been pretty good, man.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good. They're a lone loss. This is the SMU.
Yeah.
Who I kind of forget is in the ACC sometimes.
Right.
But that's good on them. I mean, they were good where they came from. I think they were in the American Conference last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's either American or the Conference USA. I can't remember which one it was. But they're playing very well. Their style fits in. Their ability to recruit out of the state of Texas is going to be monstrous for these guys.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's just so many good high school players in Texas. It's just stupid. Just stupid. But I'm taking Pitt. I'll probably take Pitt to cover.
Pitt to cover 7.5. All right with you, because I no better.
I've watched Pitt play a couple of times.
Next one's this one I want to bet. BYU's only a 3-point favorite on the road against Utah. Utah's bad. BYU covers. They're undefeated. And they're going to continue to be undefeated. Utah's going to get up for this game, but BYU's going to run away with it in the second half. Be close early. BYU runs away.
Yeah.
May even cover by 10, 11 points. I like BYU, definitely.
I like BYU in this one. BYU has played fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some close matchups, but they still get it done.
They're pulling
when they're faced with
adversity. They're pulling it through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they're doing a good job. Definitely give me BYU to cover 3. That's a definite in your parlay this weekend.
Yeah,
make that one happen. Last top 25 matchup is Utah State at Washington State. Washington State surprise Pac-2 leader.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? We thought they sucked last week, and then we realized they were only a 1-loss team. We're like, hey, what
happened?
Well, it's what happened when you take a power conference school, air quotes, and have them play a mid-major schedule, essentially. I think Washington covers the 20.5. Utah State is not good at all. 2-6. Not good. That covers our top 25 matchups for the week.
We can cover your Carolina team. What do they got this weekend?
Oh, my God. I don't know. I haven't even looked, to be honest.
You don't know what your team has.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know who Kentucky has, so don't feel bad. Carolina is not playing this weekend.
Oh, that's good. That means we won't lose.
Duke and NC State is a matchup this week at Carter Finley.
I'm taking Duke.
Yeah, I would take Duke too. NC State looks bad.
Duke.
I think Kentucky's on bye this week too. Yeah, Kentucky's off this week.
Good.
I don't have to watch them suck.
The only Carolina game I'm watching is happening tomorrow night.
Who they got?
They're Carolina basketball is playing number 1 Kansas tomorrow.
Thank you, dear. Ooh, Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, speaking of, we haven't really talked much about this. I think next week we should really highlight the college.
We should hop into it. I know we haven't really talked a lot about
NFL's it's our baby.
It's football. It's football's our baby.
Yeah.
I mean, we know our college basketball too. I just need a little more insight. What I would like to talk about when we get there is the ass whooping that Gonzaga gave Baylor the other night. Number 6 Gonzaga, number 8 Baylor.
What? There's an ass whooping?
An ass whooping,
I haven't
sir.
dug in. I haven't seen it.
An ass whooping.
All right, explain it to me. What happened?
Gonzaga won by almost 40. Like, I'll pull it up.
Wow.
But it was crazy.
Wow.
I think it was like Tuesday night, I believe.
Let's see.
Tuesday? Why are you not letting me pick Tuesday? There it is. Maybe it was Monday night. It was earlier this week.
Wasn't Tuesday.
It was Monday.
Kentucky played Monday night. They played Wright State.
101-63.
Wow. I see it now.
And
they were up 19.5.
I mean, crazy. The highlight of the game, though, was Gonzaga being up by I think at that time they were up by 20 or 25. Mark Few put his son in, and within 30 seconds he was posterized.
That's kind of funny.
We did have a top 25 upset this week in college basketball. Yeah. Number 13, Texas A&M was beat by UCF.
Oh.
Which is really weird because it's just weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
I like every other conference. They're like Carolina had a minute with Elon before winning. There was a lot of teams that played a lot closer than they probably should have.
Ohio State beat Texas too. And Texas was ranked 19.
Ohio State's not that bad though.
I mean they're not going to be that bad. They're still in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I mean I think Ohio State was one of those teams that were getting votes to be in the poll.
Why would they put a North Carolina-Kansas game on a Friday? Why didn't they schedule this for a Saturday night? Because they didn't want to compete with college football?
They don't want to compete with college football.
I mean, I kind of get it.
That's got to be the reasoning. I think there's some other games going on this weekend, too. Might be Friday night. It might be one of those weird.
You got Army at Duke, Carolina at Kansas.
That's going to be the matchup.
Yeah, nothing else. I didn't realize Alabama was number 2 in the nation.
Yeah. Alabama returned like everybody.
Everybody. They did.
Everybody. And then they added some young pieces. It wouldn't surprise me if Alabama won it this year. It wouldn't surprise me. I know you don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it. I didn't like saying it.
I don't like Nate Oates. So
I know. You don't like Nate Adams. You don't like Rick Barnes. You don't like anybody else that's outside of Kentucky.
No, I just don't like Nate Oates because I really did like Nate Oates, but the whole aspect of keeping a murderer on his team was kind of off-putting, if you know what I mean.
I get what you're saying. I'm
for the sake of winning and then not winning. I'm not a big fan of Nate Oates. Just do what's right in this aspect. I do like Saturday's matchup, Tennessee at Louisville. Hoping for a sinkhole.
I bet you are. I bet you are. I bet you are.
A meteor just to hit the upsetter in Louisville. Be fine. You get rid of a chunk of the fan base at both sides at the same time. It'd be fantastic.
You want to go see Miami of Ohio play Wright State?
Not exactly.
Saturday?
Ooh, Saturday.
$8, buddy. $8. Oh,
Saturday
shit.
night, number 11 Auburn at number 4 Houston.
Ooh, I like that game.
Me too.
Ooh. Man, I'm going to have a hard time picking what I'm watching Saturday night. While you're looking at that schedule page, I want you to look at
Baylor at Arkansas.
Got to be a good one. But after seeing Baylor get thumped.
I know. I mean, is Baylor really for real? Because I think they signed the second number 2 guy in the class.
I think
he's the top 5 guy in the class. So he's supposed to be legit. I mean, I'm going to pull against Arkansas all year.
Look at the 4 o'clock schedule for college basketball. And look who Nichols is playing.
Oh, hold on. Division 1.
It's right under the Kentucky game. The Kentucky Bucknell game.
Well, I mean, that's always at top for me. That's the problem.
In the schedule?
Yeah, because that's what I follow, so I got to scroll through.
Yeah.
Mississippi University for women.
What? I'm confused.
How's this on a regular season schedule slate?
I'm trying to figure out if it's a college for women. Why am I looking in it in the men's basketball games?
This one, it's on ESPN Plus. We're going to find out.
I'm going to find out. I'm watching
4 o'clock. We are watching it.
I am watching it. I was like, huh?
Can you set me up for like a an alarm here, so I know what I'm looking at.
I'm like, who? What? I just saw it and like, what is that? There was another one that made me laugh too. But no, I was looking at ticket prices. I want you to also look at the ticket prices for the Kansas State Cleveland State game.
What time is that?
4:00.
4:00. Kansas State and Cleveland State. $2. Sweet.
You can see Arizona and Old Dominion for $2.
That's probably a better matchup.
I would pay $2 for that.
Yeah.
$2 for St. John's and Quinnipiac.
Those are some cheap tickets right there.
Yeah.
What's the UNCW tickets going for?
I don't know.
Man, we should be looking up UNC Dub ticks.
There's a Winthrop in Little Rock at $7. I bet UNC Dub is probably not bad. I bet you we can get tickets for that. We could probably buy season tickets.
Well,
fairly cheap.
They're $2 a piece.
I'm not seeing them on here.
Actually, they're $19 Friday night against Georgia Southern.
Hang on. I want to see.
Ooh, they play at Kansas this year.
They play at Kansas?
Yeah, tickets are as low as $6 at Kansas.
You want to go to Lawrence for a game?
I mean, but you could be a John Calipari coach Kentucky team and lose to UNCW. So
you could. What time did the UNCW play them? I want to look at UNCW's score. Schedule. I just want to see who they play this
Friday night, November 8th, 7. They play Georgia Southern. They play Kansas on the 19th.
Yeah, they're Georgia Southern.
They don't play anybody else the rest of the year.
That's it?
Yeah, that's no other tough matchups. I mean, they got App State and ECU on the schedule, which is nice.
Yeah. That Kansas game, I don't know what the spread is on that game, but I can promise you it probably ain't good.
Of course not.
I'm sure they don't have a future on it either. Of course not. POSs. Because I will take Kansas to cover whatever it is. It could be 40. I'm taking Kansas. The matchup projector is a 96.8% chance of a Kansas win.
Well.
I can't believe they gave them that high of a percent chance to win. Anyway, we'll dive a little further into college basketball next week. It's kind of been the lost sport around here. Kind of snuck up on me. It's kind of like the NBA's kind of been a little lost on me at the moment. But, yeah. Anything else you want to cover?
No, let's get out of here.
All right, let's do it. We're running a little later than we really wanted to be, but we started a little later.
Shout out to Con in the chat. He just let us know the mics weren't working over the live stream. That kind of sucks.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, I guess we got to set something else up over here. But I'll move the audio file over top. So check us out on YouTube, where I will merge the audio file over top of this, and we will be good to go.
Way to let us know right at the end.
Hey man,
I'm just kidding. Thank you for tuning in, man.
And needed the input. I mean, always. Appreciate you tuned in anyway.
Constructive criticism is always accepted.
Yes. Yeah. Technology is not our forte, apparently.
No, it is definitely not.
Right.
So I don't believe this is the first time that's happened to us.
Probably not. Dang it, I got caps lock on and everything. But anyways.
Look at you. So you're screaming at him in chat?
No.
Lord.
I'm not even screaming at him.
Don't take that shit from him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it from him.
Apparently I can't even log into this thing to reply.
Oh. I know I should log in and keep that up where I can see the chat. I never do.
Oh well. All right, man. Well, until next week.
Let's go enjoy our weekends.
All right, dude.
All right.
Later.
Yep.